welcome to this video with a lot of tarot decks. I'm going to show you all the tarot decks that I have that are kind of Halloween-y, kind of in that genre. A little bit Halloween-y, Dia de los Muertos, or what you want to call it. So I have all these different decks. These are just some of them. So I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to make one video with all my tarot, and I'm going to make another video with some of my oracles. And I don't have that many oracles, but I do have some. So I wanted to show that in a separate video. But this one is going to be about the tarot cards that I have that are Halloween-y, spooky, kind of that genre. Okay, so if you're in for that, then grab yourself a cup and we'll get right into it. Okay, so let's start with some of the obvious choices, like this one here. Okay, so this is Stranger Things Tarot deck. So Stranger Things is, of course, a show that is shown on Netflix. It's kind of a very spooky show. I watched it and I liked it, so I bought this Stranger Things Tarot deck. I think it came out last year, actually. So let's just look at it. It's a good box. It's come out from Insight Editions. Yeah, so it's a mass production deck. So I can't spend too much time on each deck because I have so many. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit it all in one video, so maybe I have to split it up. Anyway, so this is the book. Very good guidebook, I have to say, with pictures in color. So, and also, as you can see, the Major Arcana cards has a whole page. It's really good, so I like the guidebook. And the cardstock is really sturdy and really, look here, it can take a beating. I don't know what it's made of, but it's really good cardstock. So there you go, and quite easy to shuffle because they're kind of bendy, not too bendy, but enough. Okay, so that's that. So let us look at the cards themselves. So I don't know if you know the show. I mean, if you know the show or don't know the show, it really doesn't matter. You can still, of course, buy the deck in itself because it's spooky and it's fun. But if you know that, of course, it might be a little bit more fun. But these are the images. So, yeah. When you know what the show is about, it might be easier to relate to why they have chosen these different images on the cards, though. So, you know. But anyways, quite a fun and spooky deck for me. So I'm just going to flip through it quite quickly because I have so many decks to go through. I'll speed it up a little bit here, but you get the idea. I mean, Stranger Things, it was with monsters and it was really spooky, kind of a little bit the other side. It's called the Upside Down. And there's you know, communicating with the deceased kind of thing, and so there's a lot of spookiness in many different shapes, if you will, in this show. So it is, of course, a fight between good and evil, which is very often the case in many shows. So let me see, I just have to push that one down a little bit there. So yeah, I really like this deck, but of course it's because I've seen the show and I like it, so that has, of course, something to do with it too. But I love the deck. These cards are really well made. Okay, I mean, you can see that the images here really looks like the actors, so it's well done, and good artwork, good coloring, good cardstock, you know. All in all, a very good deck, in my opinion. So, this is the Stranger Things Tarot deck. Okay, so that's that. And we will put that away. Like so. So that was the Stranger Things Tarot. Okay, moving on. So let us do the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot deck. This is, of course, a Disney movie. And so Disney has put their brand on here. So the quality is, of course, very good, I have to say. The guidebook is a good guidebook as well. As you can see here, lots of information, colored pictures. This lifts up like so. The back is so beautiful. It's black and purple and a little bit of white. Also very good cardstock, I have to say. A little bit kind of rose petally finish on there. So let us look at the images. So if you've seen the movie, you will of course recognize the characters here. It's a really fun movie. I watch it with the kids. So yeah, again, another deck that's just so popular and so beautiful and well done. I mean, this is, yeah, it's quality. But as it should be when Disney has put their name on it. So I'll just flip through this quite quickly. Oh, my light just went out. Yeah, well, what do you know? So, yeah, I'm just flipping through. I mean, you get the idea of the cards, right? It's from the movie. It's the characters in different situations, as you can see. Santa. So yeah, a really fun deck. And you know, for me, this is a Halloween deck. For some people use it for Christmas, but I think you can use it for both. You know. Yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah, that's it. So that is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck. Let us put that aside quickly. And we will move on to the next one. That's that. Okay, so then we go to Hocus Pocus tarot deck. And that's also from Disney. So it's the same kind of quality box. Lift like so. Hocus Pocus here. I mean, the book is kind of the same style as the other one. Good guidebook. It lifts like so. That was upside down. And the cardstock is more or less the same as it was in the Nightmare Before Christmas. So, and the back here is purple with a little bit of, yeah, stars and sparkles on there. And we will look at the cards, just going through them quite quickly. So if you know the movie Hocus Pocus, then you will recognize the characters on here and the images. Another deck that I feel is very well done. The artwork is, of course, superb, as it always is with Disney. So yeah, not much more to say about that. So I'll just kind of flip through this for you. This is also quite a new deck. I believe it came out last fall, probably right before Halloween last year. I think, yeah. Yeah, I don't have time to go into each and every card in detail here. I just wanted to show you a little bit of each deck here. So we can't spend too much time on each deck. So this is just kind of showing my collection here of my spooky decks. Okay, let's see. So that was the Hocus Pocus. Okie dokie, let us move on to Disney again, Villains Tarot deck. Now you can say that this doesn't have to be a spooky deck, but Villains is kind of, you know, dark, if you will. So for me, it's good enough as a Halloween deck. The same cardstock, and you see the colors here as well, kind of the purple. So that's kind of the Halloween-y color as well. So yeah, and these are of course different villains in the Disney universe. So, but you see, it's kind of a spooky feel to the deck. So for me, this is good enough for a Halloween deck. Yeah, Disney has, of course, lots and lots of villains, lots and lots of movies. So these are many different villains. And I really just love this deck. I think it's really fun. Oh, look at that. I just love that. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah, either you like the style or you don't kind of thing. But I just love this. I mean, I grew up with Disney. That was... yeah, we didn't have that many channels here in Norway when I was growing up. So when we, when there were Disney movies on, it was just a whole family sat down together, and we also went to the movies together as a family to watch Disney movies. So I have grown up with this, and I just love it. So that's me. So just flipping through quickly here so that you can get an idea of what these cards look like. And then you can make a decision for yourself if this is a deck you want to buy or not. Okay, so that was the Villains Tarot deck. Let us see that way. Put that away. So I'm going through it quite quickly here, but it's because I have so many decks. So that was the Villains. Okay, next one. Let us do... yeah, we can do the Witchling Academy. So I'm putting decks that I feel are spooky or WitchyWoo or kind of that genre will be part of this show and tell today. So the Witchling Academy Tarot by Pamela Chen just opens like that. There is a guidebook like so. Quite a good guidebook actually, as you can see. Not too shabby. The only thing I have to say is that I wish that there was some sort of a holding this together, because if you don't put it like this and put something on top of it, they can kind of slide out. So that's the only negative, if I were to say anything negative about it. So let's look at these cards. So this is the back. I just love this back. It's really, really nice. Glossy. Cardstock is, yeah, very kind of common, kind of the Llewellyn style cardstock, I would say. So good. It's bendy, but not too bendy. And it's sturdy and good, as you can see. So let us flip through the cards here. So this is kind of a younger, a little bit of a cartoony style for me, as you can see. Maybe a little bit manga inspired here. So yeah, I find this fun and different. Yeah. I have another one also called Teen Witch Tarot, but that's a little bit different. This is more cartoony and a little bit more innocent, I would say. So I love this devil card. Anyways, yeah, I really adore this deck. It's really beautiful and sweet. Kind of sweet WitchyWoo. Yeah. So just to give you an idea of what this deck looks like. You can of course slow the video down if you want to, or pause it if you see a card that you want to look at a little bit closer. But I have to flip through quite quickly if we're going to get through all the cards. You see, I have a camera that shuts off after 47 minutes. Yeah, fun. So I can't really make that long video. Anyway, so that was the Witchling Academy Tarot by Pamela Chen, illustrated by Mindy Zhang, I think her name is. Okay, that was that. Next, please. Okay, so let us go to the Book of Shadows Tarot, Volume 2. There is a Book of Shadows Tarot, Volume 1, which is called As Below. This one is So Below. As you can see here, it says As Above, and then an arrow up, and So Below, arrow down. So I had the As Above, but I didn't use it as much as this one, so I chose to give it away. I re-gifted, but I kept this one. So let's see. So there's kind of a, yeah, your normal book here. This is Los Caraballos, so you have that different languages, easy breezy book there, as always. This is the back with a little bit of pentagram there in the middle. And cardstock is the normal Los Caraballos cardstock. So let us look at the images here. I find these images quite beautiful. It's kind of the magic of nature, but also the shadow side of the different situations. So there's kind of some pixies, and there's some ghosts in here. Yeah, but you know, you can say maybe it's not a typical Halloween-y deck, but it is kind of the Book of Shadows, and Book of Shadows is, of course, kind of Halloween-y thing. So For me, that's enough. So, and some of these images are kind of spooky. And you have these little gremlins or little gnomes. Also, a lot of gnomes in these cards. And they have that red cap, which is very typical here in Norway. We have these little, in the old days, people said that these little ones lived out in the barn by the horses. And they have actually become a symbol for Christmas for us. And we call them nisse. So they're called little nisse and not gnomes. But anyway, so this for me can also be, you see there's also Halloween, there's a pumpkins and everything here. Now, so this can also for me be kind of a Christmassy deck as well, because of those little nisse, little gnomes. But yeah, anyways, so, but for me this is good enough for a Halloween deck. You know, that can be discussed probably, but that's my opinion. Also because of the back of the cards that, you know, kind of got that Halloween-y feel to them for me. So in a pick a card thing, that would actually work, or pick a deck rather, reading. So yeah. I'm sorry about the sound of the camera. I don't know why my camera has started making a sound when it records, but if you can hear the sound and that's annoying, I'm sorry. But anyways, that's the Book of Shadow Tarot, Volume 2. Okay, so let us look at the next one. This is that Tarot of the Haunted House. So this is a very typical tarot deck. I have edged mine, by the way, in brown. This is also Los Scarabæos. It's the same book as I showed you before. This is the back. Really, really spooky, haunty, housey kind of back. As I said, I have edged mine in brown. And these are the images, so I will flip through it quite quickly. But this is a little bit more spooky, of course. A little bit more Halloween-y, if you will. Like this one. Woo! So, this is a deck I know that many people love. Not so much more to say about it than that. I'll just flip through and you will get the idea. Sorry that I'm going so quickly, but I have so many decks. This is a show and tell of my decks, people. Oh, love that one from The Shining. Anyways, yeah, this is a show and tell of my decks. So I'll do it my way. Anyways. Yeah, I really love this. The artistry in this one is really good. Just have to have that said. I really love that. Very well done. Yeah. So that was the Haunted House. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment it below in the comment section, by the way. Okay, so that was the Haunted House Tarot. So let us move on. Now I go to the Teen Witch Tarot, which is the one I mentioned earlier. This is also kind of a cute deck, but not maybe for very young children, but more for teenagers maybe. Hence Teen Witch. This is also Los Scarabæos, so you have the same book. Now this is the back, very, very Halloween-y for me with the purple. And these are the images. But of course here is a little bit more revealing body images than the other one, of course, since it is teenagers. But I find it cute and fun, different. It's modern. You know, yeah, it's for the young teens or young modern people, I would say. So yeah, if you have a young person in your family that would like to learn tarot, maybe this is one deck for them. And of course for adults as well, but yeah, it's just kind of that fun, young vibe to it for me, which is cool. A little bit sassy. I like that. A little bit sassy. So yeah, just flipping through quickly so you get an idea of what this deck is. And you can decide if this is something for you or not. Yep, and that was it. So that was the Teen Witch Tarot. If I can close it, there you go. Okie dokie. So let us now move to the Dark Mansion Tarot. Now I have two different, I have this back and I have this back. So there are two different types. Now these cards are a little bit rose petal finish. Feels a bit thicker, but they are not thicker. It's just the finish. But the problem for me with this is that it's sometimes hard to separate the cards because they get stuck a little bit. But anyways, that's the back on that one, and this is glossy, and they glide easier. So I'm going to use that one to show because the images on the backs are the same, but it's just the back side that's different, and the rose petal finish on this. But otherwise the images are the same. So I'm just going to put this aside. So let us then look at this. This is from Tarotteca Studios, so you kind of have to buy it from them. I don't think you can buy it anywhere else. Now, very good cardstock. Now this is edged in gold, the other one is edged in black, okay? And this is the back. Good cardstock. I feel like the other deck is slightly thicker, just to have that said. But anyways, beautiful, beautiful back on both of them. Now these are the images of the Dark Mansion Tarot. So fun, so beautiful. Now every one card have the same frame, and in the frame there are little skulls and stuff. Okay, so kind of fun. This is a very unique style, and I just have to say that I adore this deck here, and this style is really funny. Or fun, rather. But yeah, so either you like this style or you don't, but I really like it. So I'm just going to flip through so you get an idea of the cards. So I believe you have to go to the tarottecastudio.com to get a hold of this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe so. They have many different decks, not just this one. So you can, of course, look at other decks they have too. I believe I've ordered some other decks from them too. And they're kind of, I do believe they have a team that they work with as an artist team, and they make new decks all the time. So really just go and have a look. And they're really good at what they do. So, and it's a good quality deck, I have to say. So that is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Let us put them back in the box. There you go. Okay. Now let us go to the Santa Muerte Tarot, Book of the Dead. Now this one is so beautiful and so fun. It's a box like so, very sturdy, very good. And this is, I believe, Los Carabeo. But the guidebook here is a little bit more well made than the little ones you get. So quite a good guidebook in different languages as always. Good cardstock. It's kind of the same as the Wise Rated Tarot, you know, Arcana, Thelema, those kind of decks. So it's the same cardstock. So they're glossy, and this is the back. So fun, so cool with the skulls there. Okay, so let's look at the images. Now these are also very, very well made. I mean, the artistry in this deck is really, really good, and a really unique style again. So I just love this deck. It's so fun. For me, this is a must for Halloween, or Dia de los Muertos, which is they call it in Spanish. Yeah, really love this deck. Not much more I can say. It's just fun. Oh, yeah. You know me. Okay. So just going to flip through it for you quite quickly so you get an idea. So you know if this is something you want to get or not. So it's skulls and bones here, people. That's pretty much the theme throughout the entire deck. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Getting to the end of this deck too. There you go. So that was the Santa Muerte Tarot. Ew, get in there. Come on. Oh no. What did I do? Okay. I got bent a little bit in the corner. So I have to do it this way. Should have known that. Okay. Anyways, I'll fix that later. So that was the Memento Vivere Santa Muerte Tarot Book of the Dead. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Let's do some of the more... okay, so I have some decks that are not necessarily directly Halloween decks, but I feel like they fit in the Halloween category because it has to do with WitchyWoo or dark or those kind of things. So, first of all, this Everyday Witch Tarot. Very popular deck, very good guidebook, as you can see here. These cards are quite famous. I edged mine in blue. I have another deck that I didn't edge, so I have two. So this is kind of a very famous deck. I mean, I believe most of you have already seen this, but I'm just gonna show you anyway. So this is the back, good cardstock. This is it Llewellyn that has this one? Let's see. Yeah, it's Llewellyn. So it's kind of the same quality you get in all Llewellyn decks, the same size. So let's flip through them quite quickly. I believe many of you have already seen this deck. So this is Halloween for me because it's WitchyWoo. So there you go. So I'm going to show you now some decks that are WitchyWoo that, of course, you can use for Halloween, but you can pretty much use it all year round. But the theme is kind of WitchyWoo or darkness or, you know, something dark. And so that's why I feel like they can be used also for Halloween. They're not typical Halloween-y, but, you know, good enough. WitchyWoo. I'm doing this quite quickly, I know. But I hope you still kind of get the idea of the design or what they look like. And you can slow the video down or pause it if you want to, of course. There you go. So that is the Everyday Witch Tarot. There is also an Everyday Witch Oracle, by the way, but that I will show in the other video with the Oracle cards, okay? So that is that. That was the Everyday Witch Tarot. Now, this is one that I have chosen to use for Halloween simply because I feel the feel of them are very Halloween-y. It's called Beautiful Creatures Tarot. Now, you know, you should think that it doesn't have anything to do with Halloween, but wait till you see the cards. So this is the guidebook. It's really good guidebook, I have to say. So that's that, and then we have the cards. Now, I have taken, of course, the insert here out because it annoyed me. so I just have them loose in there. But I mean, look at the back of these cards. I mean, in a lineup with a pick a deck or pick a tarot deck, these would, of course, be perfect. And it's also edged in purple. I mean, come on. So... And the design with the dolls is kind of, some people find these dolls kind of spooky. So I figured this is good enough for a Halloween deck. The feel of these cards. So it's also a little bit witchy, as you can see here. Skulls, WitchyWoo, a little bit here and there. So it's kind of witchy dolls, if you will. And for me, that's more than enough for making it into the Halloween video. So see here, it's a jack-o'-lantern and everything. So, and skulls again. So I mean, it's definitely for me a Halloween deck that I use around this time of year, very often in October. But of course, it's a deck that you can use all year round. But yeah, jack-o'-lantern again. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through this quite quickly. And this cardstock is really good, by the way. Big cards. Good. It's the same size as very many oracle cards. Yeah. Okay. So going through quickly here. See, very Halloweeny again, with some dragons here and frog. So that's that. So that's the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. I just love that deck. And it is a mass production, so you can get a hold of it pretty much anywhere. Okay, so that's that. Now let us look at the Dark Wood Tarot. This is also another one that I feel could be WitchyWoo. Dark Wood. The guidebook is really good. Really, really good. It's Llewellyn again. And now the back for me is very kind of Halloween-y style. And it is, of course, WitchyWoo again. These are the images. The cardstock is the same as all Llewellyn decks. And these are the cards. And it's kind of a muted palette. It's kind of a yellow, orange, red, black. This is so beautiful. And the feel of them, you know, with the trees everywhere here, and it's kind of Halloween-y. And it's a little bit of dragons there, bats, and crows and snakes. You know, it's the feel of the deck. You know, it's, for me, that's enough to be Halloween-y, to make it into the Halloween decks. So of course you can argue that this this is not a Halloween deck, but yeah, for me it makes it. You see, WitchyWoo, so it makes it in there. Kind of a scary feel to the entire deck here. So yeah, okay, so that is the Dark Wood Tarot. There you go. Okay, next we have the Wizard's Tarot. So again, very good guidebook. This is again Llewellyn. So the Llewellyn, I've also edged these in kind of a light red. This is not how they come. This is the back with the dragon and everything, really cool. And these are the cards. Now these are with the magicians and dragons and WitchyWoo, and for me, so this is like you see here, so this is good enough for a Halloween category for me. Very witchy style with all of this. Yeah, scary and monsters and, you know, stuff like that. So again, you can argue that it's not a Halloween deck, but of course I use it all year round too, so it's not just for Halloween. See, this is kind of Galtworth school. No, so yeah, I use it all year round, of course, but I especially use it around this time, around the Halloween. So, going through it quickly. Yeah, my stomach is hungry. I forgot to eat today. Oh, that's why. Okay, anyways. So that is the Wizard's Tarot. I hope you like that. So that's that. Okay. Now, let's move on to... Let's do this one, because that's kind of the Witch's Tarot. Okay. by Ellen Dugan. So let us do this. Is the same as it's a Llewellyn, so it's the same book. Now I have edged this in purple, and I have also, I should have shown you the original, of course, but I don't have it here. I have cut away the edges on this, but it's the same as the other. It's the same size as the normal Llewellyn, and it just has a black edge around it. That's the only difference. This is the back, really beautiful, but I have just cut away the black around it. It's black like this, just plain and simple, or else the cards are just exactly the same. Okay, so I hope you'll forgive me for that, for not finding the real. I have the other one too with the black, but I don't know where it is at right now. But okay, let's just look at the images. Now the images for me, this is a deck that I use all year round, but it is called the Witch's Tarot, and some of the images are kind of witchy, you know, for me. So that's why I also, and also because of the back, use this for around this time, especially when I had the pick a tarot deck kind of readings. Then I use this because the back is kind of you know, Halloweeny, or you know, WitchyWoo kind of backs. So that's why I use this for that purpose. But of course, other than that, it's not very scary. You know, this is of course very Halloweeny, but it's not in general a very scary deck or made for Halloween. Of course not. But I feel like this can be used for Halloween. You know, so it is kind of the magician, the witch theme on it, and as I said, the back is very special to me. So so that's that. That is the Witch's Tarot modified. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so let's see what we have time for now. Let's go to, okay, we can do the Green Witch Tarot. It's kind of the same as the other one. This is also Llewellyn. The book is the same. Now this is also because of the back. Look at the back, so beautiful. Now the images are not very Halloweeny. They're a little bit witchy, of course, because it's a green witch, and the green witch, as you can see here, she knows how to brew things. Yeah, there's a little jack-o'-lantern right there. She knows how to brew her her potions from, make stuff from nature. That's kind of the green witch. So it is a little bit of WitchyWoo here and there, but of course this is a deck that I use all year round. But I feel like it can be, especially in a lineup with a pick a deck, a part of a Halloween reading, or you can use it as an extra deck in a Halloween reading. So that's kind of my feel on this. You see a little bit of WitchyWoo here and there. Yeah, so that's why it made it into this show and tell today. Simply because it's a little bit WitchyWoo, and the back, you know, it has a lot to say for me who do pick a card readings, you know. The backs are important for me. So that was a very quick show and tell of the Green Witch Tarot. Now let's see what we have time for. That's that. Okay. Now another deck that you might argue is not a Halloween deck, but I still put it in here, is the Steampunk Tarot. Okay. It comes with a really good guidebook. The same again, Llewellyn. The same cardstock, you know. And this time I have found the right deck that I haven't modified, because I have two of this. One modified where I took away the black, and this one. So this is the back, really cool back, and these are the cards. Now you might argue that this is not Halloween. Well, it's got that dark feel to it though. It's got that kind of yeah, darkness or spookiness, or I don't know how to describe it. It's the feel of the deck, you know. It's the style. It's I think steampunk is really cool, really fun. You see, it's WitchyWoo, it's skulls, it's darkness, it's different, very different, but fun for me. So that's why it's been included in my spooky decks. Spooky decks or Halloween decks or, yeah, dark decks. Not dark as in bad, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so yeah, this is the one. Okay, so that is the Steampunk Tarot. Let's put that away. There you go. Well, I have time. Yeah, I have time. Okay, so I'm going to just have an honorary mention of 2. I'm not going to show them, but I'm going to have an honorary mention of 2, and then I'm going to show you a last deck in the end. But this is the Raven's Prophecy, and it is like the backs here, you know, kind of spooky. I've edged it in orange. And this is the style of the deck, okay? Kind of dark, a little bit spooky, but not really a typical Halloween deck. But it's kind of the colors here and the feel a little bit, which makes me feel like it can be used as a Halloween deck as well, okay? So that's kind of one honorary mention without really showing the deck very much. And then another one that you might argue is a little bit spooky is the Game of Thrones Tarot. So it comes with a good guidebook here as well. Just want to show you real quick, right there. And this is kind of the back. And the cards is, of course, the story of Game of Thrones. So you might say that, you know, it's a kind of a scary show. There's dragons, you know, there's a lot of blood and stuff like that. So it's kind of dark, if you will. So in that sense, with the White Walkers and everything. So in that sense, it might be able to use it as a Halloween deck or a spooky deck. So I just kind of wanted to mention that as an option. Okay. Now, I also have the Tarot de los Magos, which is the Magician's Tarot. I only have it in Spanish. So that's also another other honorary mention. Just want to show you, this is the back. Now the images is just kind of, you know, you're more or less normal tarot, but every now and then there's a little bit spooky, kind of wizard, you know, that, but not a typical Halloween deck, but I just wanted to mention it since it's called the Magician's Tarot also. So I have that, and then of course I have the Spoopy Tarot. I'm just going to use that also as an honorary mention. It's going to be 4 honorary mentions, not 2. And that's kind of, because it's not so much to show in this deck, okay? It's kind of a fun, whimsical, spoopy. It's based on kind of spooky, but as you see here, it's kind of more sweet. Yeah, it's very little to show here on each card. It's called the Spoopy Tarot, but yeah, you can use it for Halloween, but it's more like a sweet, cutesy Halloween then in that case. It's not really spooky, okay? So I just wanted to mention it for you, so you have that, but then we have to get to the last one of the decks of today, and I hope I have some time. Yeah, I do. So that's the Spoopy. So that's that, and now for the last one. This is not a Halloween deck, but it needs to be shown because it can definitely be used as one. This is the Lost Forest Tarot. This is an indie deck, and this is one of the most beautiful decks I've ever seen. The Lost Forest Tarot. There's a guide here. Just mentioned most of the cards. Now, it's a good card stock. Really good. And this is the back. Really specially made back, black, so that's cool. Now the images, that is just insane. So let's just flip through some of these cards first, and then I'm going to show you something really cool. Now this is very much about dragons, darkness, spooky woods, spooky castles, you know, so definitely will fall into the spooky category with monsters and everything, okay? But the thing here is also, if you were to put, let me just see here. the fire, the King of Fire. Okay, let's see if we can find some fire here. If you were to put all of these next to each other, they form a picture. Okay, so that's the thing. It's that it's that's a 9 of Fire, 3 of Fire. See here? So every suit makes a picture. Okay, 5, 6 of Fire. Do you see that here? So here it forms a volcano. You know, so each suit forms a whole long, beautiful picture. Okay, so I just had to show you that before we flip through the deck. The whole deck is art. Okay, it's one huge art piece. So I'm just going to flip through it really quickly so you can see all the images here. And just imagine that, you know, the fire is very orangey and it's one long whole art piece. And of course the water is the same, and which is the cups. And the pentacles are the same, the wands are the same. One long image. And it's so beautiful. It's so very well made. Okay, so this is a unique deck. It's got that little spooky monster, you know, feeling to it, and darkness a little bit, you know. So for me, that's, you know, look at this, these little owls in the woods here, and you know, so it's kind of this spooky feeling, and also I wanted to support this artist because it is such a beautiful deck, so very well made. And yes, it wasn't cheap, but man, is it worth it. I have to say, it's so beautiful. Okay, so let us look at where you can get this. It's Chelsea Santa Maria is the name of the artist. So I think you have to look her up, and then you look up the Lost Forest Tarot, and there you'll probably find it. If she still has any more for sale, I really don't know. It's been a while since I bought this, so I'm not sure. You kind of have to Google and find out, or contact her. But this is the second edition. There was one other edition, so I have the second edition of this one. So I just, yeah, it says second edition 80 card tarot deck. So there's also 2 extra cards here. I just adore this deck. So those were the show and tell. I have to stop now before my camera just all of a sudden is going to stop working. So thank you so much for being part of this show and tell. Wishing you a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and happy Halloween, happy Dia de los Muertos. Till the next time I see ya.